Okay, so the video cut off as I was getting out my car. Kind of didn't want that to happen, but being able to live and have a relationship without having to, change the good things about an individual, and instead of changing it, or just being able to cultivate it and cultivate one another. So the movie The Photograph pretty much shows that like they had to change, but that change brought some remorse and stuff, and it's kind of, it was a good movie, but it's kind of like, why couldn't you have your good relationship alongside with having your career going hand in hand, so yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. She went to the restaurant. I'm getting $20 of gas and stuff like that, so we can finish off this trip to Alabama. We're gonna go in and back. It's not freezing. She probably cold, but I can see my breath and everything like that. I can see my breath. Let's see. I'm probably gonna have to do a part. I don't know if we're gonna have to do another part to this video because of the fact that I'm about to hook it back up to the car, and then I also need to get my directions in line. So let's see if it saves. Okay, so yeah, we still good. Okay, smart cars. Shout out to Toyota Camry for the smart vehicles, being able to shoot this video and get gas and everything. And here comes Avery's the queen. Up the other half of DNA. The A is back.
Okay.
So I held it down. The video went out, so this is actually.
I was like, wait.
Well, when I got out, I had to. Yeah.
Okay.
When I got out, I had to. It got off the whole, like, it was trying to hook me up to the car and not to the cord. So yeah, that kind of.
We could piece it together.
Yeah, we back though.
They have a movie app, iMovie. We'll use that and make it work.
She is quite the engineer when it comes down to all that.
Until working at Apple for 2 years.
So she knows.
Sure.
She knows.
So what I was talking about?
Oh, just letting people know I'm pregnant.
Is it mine?
It is yours. Okay, proceed to the route. That's what I need to do. Mobile. Mobile.
Oh, okay.
Okay, tap for guidance. That's what I need. Hold on.
Proceed to the route.
Okay. She gonna.
So what did y'all really talk about?
So I was just telling them about a little bit more so about DNA, what it was made for, what we're gonna do with it. Like looking to do with it. As far as this on YouTube. We have Story Corps. We have looking to do a book. Just talking about why is it, important, or what we feel is of need of importance, whereas it being witness to us all, because as we are learning as well in the midst of doing all of this, we are learning and being able to share some moments and things that could benefit and help others. So yeah, subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe. While I'm saying all that, or saying all that, we will also be doing like little clips, like not full-fledged videos like this, but little clips. And the little clips would be like movies or anything, whatever we want to put up. You know, it'll be DNA fun or DNA date, whatever we want to say. But you can check those out, because there's some things that we do, like, hey,
Random trips.
travel to Mobile, Alabama, and spend the night and eat out at where they throw bread. And like going to go-kart riding, putt-putt golfing, shooting range. You said you want protection.
I do.
Get the gag. I think that's why I'm gonna put the video. I'm gonna make a little really get the gag with that song. I might. Anyways,
Do what you do, babe.
so we was talking about that, and the questions that I'm about to ask soon as I put this on there.
I'm ready.
So, I've been through. I have experienced not too many, and then I was coming into a relationship with you. You know, like I wasn't going to pursue because of the fact that I didn't want to get in the way of your career.
Okay.
That was one main thing, especially you believing for, prayed for, and seemed like finally hit your mark of where you wanted to be, what you wanted to do, as far as going to Texas, being close to the family, this, that, and the other. And it was like, well, I don't want to, who am I to come in between what, you know, you got going on? Like, as far as, or if I didn't care, I'd be like, oh, well, we just act like, you know, have a liking for you for a little minute and then just see where that goes, and not really being serious.
Yeah.
But being that's not who I am, and wanting to court you and learning of you and wanting to be with you for the rest of my life, it was like, okay, well, I had a decision to make, to like, do I even pursue? Because would it be rude and fair to come in and just say, hey, not really like ditch all that, you know, like do all that, but then in the long run, you know, sounds selfish, but just say what it is. Like, how are we to be together if you're going to be there, I'm here, and no, long distance is not hard. It's dependent on the people in the relationship. Heck,
Right.
long or short distance, it don't matter. It
Right.
depends on the individuals if you're mature to handle it. But it's like, okay, thank God you different.
Uh-huh.
She'll talk about that. But it's like you chose me in our relationship over your career. And from the movie, so I've, it's like, why is it because women are so educationally driven
Okay.
that once you hit your mark and hit the things that, you know, you desire in life, could be in. Because in the movie, like, you know, she was one and she got what she desired, but then she was remorseful at the end and stuff. And I always think and believe that, you know, ain't nothing in this world, as far as materialistic stuff, would ever satisfy me as far as being in unity and oneness and relationship with God. And so with that being said, I feel like that with people, because we all carry God in us, and a relationship is like forever. Like, there's like, it's a whole different person, and you don't have to clock in and clock out,
right?
Or does it take work? Yeah, but is it more exciting to have the career over a relationship? Say, yeah. So yeah, is it more exciting? What does that? Because I know, like, women's rights and all that stuff, like, been pretty much put on the back burner, and black women been pretty much put on the back burner and stuff like that. So to actually achieve and have things, I'm not knocking none of that. But then I sometimes think, like, that independence definition of what people think independence is, and the way that Beyonce, who is not independent, portrayed and stuff like that, it took a lot of women to a whole took a lot of it to another level of thinking, and I think, like, wrong perspective. But I knew it was like, well, I don't know how. Would it be right for me to come in if she thinks that way, and she's, you know, got a master's degree, and now she in Texas, where she wanted to be, and here I come and talking about, hey, I want to be in a relationship. So, like, what is it like? Because in the movie, she chose the career, and then led up to remorse. So yeah. Talk about
I think it depends on the woman. For me, I guess it's kind of like on the outside looking in. So, like, to others, it may seem like I had made it. Like, I had my master's degree, I was working in my field, moved to the big city that all the opportunities were supposed to be. But for me, it was just like, it was minimal. It wasn't like my dream. It was just like a checkbox that I had checked off. So for me, the big thing that has always been a desire or a dream of mine is to be married, to have a family, before a career. That was the case always. And from a previous relationship, I had put my career and all that kind of on a back burner. Similar situation to the movie. And so when that was over with, I was like, okay, well, I'm focusing on me and taking my next steps to make sure that I'm putting myself in the place to be, like, my thought process was, how can I expect a man to bring a certain thing to the table and I'm not doing the same? So I was like, I'm gonna focus on me and make sure that I have the job, the money, the lifestyle, or whatever, to meet whoever halfway. Which I'm not gonna say is the wrong thinking, but for me it was the wrong thinking. Because my dreams next to having a family was to have the things that we talked about, like the business idea that I had, wanting to open a school, work with kids more, the passion that I have for teaching. Those were things that I really wanted to do that I was not going towards. I always said that I was going to do the career first and then do all that stuff later. But it was like, why? That's not how... It doesn't make sense, but to me it made sense. I don't know. So it was like and that's why when you came along and we had the discussion about when I learned more of what you do and what you want to do, what your plans of doing are, and how that aligned with the things that I envisioned for my future.
Good God.
I was like, so this really is nothing. Like, that's why from the beginning, I mean, there were other reasons too, but that's why from the beginning I said it's nothing for me to come home, because I wasn't focused on or tied to this career that I thought was going to be temporary anyway. Yes, I wanted to be close to family, and I do still have that desire, but my faith from the beginning and everything, even, continuing to pursue you or allow myself to be pursued, was that God knows my desires and he'll take care of it.
I think I have your face.
Because I'm trying to make sure I have yours too.
Oh. Okay.
Because if I do all of mine, I'll have half of yours.
You got all of me and half of your face.
So, this don't distract you, right?
No.
Okay. So, yeah. The Lord will take care of that piece as well, as far as wanting to be close to family, and then also not having a corporate 9-to-5 clocking in for somebody else. I have the freedom to move. I need to move. So, there's still opportunity for that closeness. It doesn't have to be me actually being in Texas.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it just depends on the woman. But I still feel like when you're focused on anything other than seeking first the kingdom of God, you're gonna miss it somewhere. Because even if you do focus on the family and not focus on the career, you're gonna feel like, oh, well, I missed it because I didn't focus on the career, or vice versa. So, but if you seek first, all these things shall be added unto you. So you can't focus on two things at the same time, or three, however many things. So just focus on the one thing that will take care of everything else.
Keep the main thing.
And that's what I did.
The main thing.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's natural. It's what you do.
It's a mess, but okay.
It's a natural video. Yeah, so I just, just out of respect, that's why I didn't want to deter or say, hey, I'm more important, or come off, because I ain't been through that.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
And unknowingly, good, make sure you turn coming over. Unknowingly, that is something I've been through, and I heard that I was doing this for you after the fact, that breakup, and I was like, hold up, don't do nothing for me in that sense.
Right.
I don't run your life, and if we cannot enjoy one another in life, like, I don't want that, because you so focused on me or trying to appease me. It's like love or anything. If you want something, you got to give it first. So what I'm saying is, if you want my if you want to be like whatever to me, more relatable, more loving, yourself first. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
You can't love me before you love yourself. And the main thing is loving God. That's the major thing. You do that, all those things encompass one another. That's why, and I was also telling him at the gas pump, but that's why I believe fully, and you can have your cake and eat it too. I don't think individuals, I think there's a blemish on the relationships whenever individuals think that they have to put aside their life for another in a bad sense, not in a good sense. There may be things to cultivate, but to take away from is really like, let's just use, it's really like you're taking away from God. And what I'm saying is, like, God gave you the dream, the desire, the goal in your heart before I was in the picture. Same thing for me. So why would you come into a relationship trying to change that?
Yeah.
And God is the most lovely thing, being of our whole, like that, the career, the joy, the focusing of self. Really, it comes from the love on the inside of us. It comes from God. So why would I come in and try to change that for the sake of me being such a great boyfriend, future husband, and stuff like that? Like, why would I, or individuals try to come in and change that? Because when you change that, you change the dynamics. You're trying to control love.
But, well, with that, how you said that God gave us the desire, and I think the missing piece or missing part is that God gave you the desire, but He'll also give you the plan or the map on how to fulfill it or how to get to that point. Whereas we don't seek Him to get those instructions. We have the desire and we try to figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
And usually that'll lead you in a direction or take you down a path
to Texas.
That I won't say is unnecessary, but you don't have to go through that. Not saying that it was anything I had to go through, but I mean, it didn't have to be that way.
Yeah. So we talked about this there's tons of scripture. One will come up, I'm sure. But in understanding us and who we are, here's one great scripture. Genesis 1:26 through 28, where it says, "Let us make man in our image, out of the likeness of God. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air," that's birds, "and over every creeping thing that creepeth itself upon the earth." And it talks about all kinds of things that we are dominant and have as people, and people of God, our Creator. Well, He gave us the ability to create. So I always been on the tip of understanding for myself is like, especially being an entrepreneur, why would I have to go anywhere when I can create it? Like, there's no place that can give me the desire that I already have on the inside of me. And it's like, I raised it as a question to Avery at the time, and not to, this was after she had made her decision, or say it like 3 times I can recall that you know, it's nothing for her to come back home. So I wasn't trying to pull strings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Spiritual strings. But I was just saying that, or what was real to me was like, okay, you know, who says that moving to anywhere is going to be like a guarantee?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to work out if you move here.
Right.
Like, well, why everybody not there?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, and if that was the case, if anywhere, if I was supposed to go anywhere, then I would go to Seattle, Washington, where two of the richest people in the world are. Because evidently, they could get less about, you know, where they living at, because they created what they want. And then Amazon and then all these other places, like why nobody moves there, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, it always seems like we focus on the outside so much and what the picture looks like without understanding the creator and the creation.
Yeah.
So I think we can look at the painting so much without really understanding and looking at the painter.
Yeah.
That's fresh.
Absolutely.
And really understanding that, hey, you are the painter. The painter lives on the inside of you. If you receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, if you have not, please do so. Romans 10:9-10. Just read it, repeat it, pray up on it, and receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior. For sure. But if not understanding the Creator, then you will look for any other place, or any other thing, any other relationship, any other whatever, any other job, like chasing after a title or a place, just so you can have a sense of fulfillment, but losing out. And that's what I seen in the movie. I was like, but she's so remorseful. Like New York was okay, where art was popping, but then her mom passed away. And then she got out. She was out of the relationship that she loved dearly and stuff like that. But had his baby and stuff like that. And remorseful. So for however many years until she passed away and stuff, she was living in that and not really being attracted to life and being the painter and being the creator. Because bet your bottom dollar, New Orleans is big time in arts. Just as much. Yeah. So what's that all about? Because I was in it wasn't that dynamic of a story, but I was in that not too long ago. And you know, and when she was like, I did this for you, I was like, oh no, like, nah. But what I realized, like, you could do this anywhere, especially with social media. Like we're driving to Mobile right now, shooting a live video to put on YouTube to attract or for people to listen to this, that, and the other. So you can do this anywhere whenever you understand the creative ability. But why is it that I see that in a lot of women? I'm sure it's in a lot of people, for sure. But why is it, you think, or no, that people want to go, like, okay, when I get this career, like, or I'm in school for 11 years, and then after that, you still don't go to the job that you spent 11 years of your life. Like, what? Like, you better get in that field, find a way. Like, I feel like not a waste of time. I don't believe education gives you everything.
It doesn't.
I believe there's a cap off. So, y'all could come at me if you want to, and that's just...
It's the wrong thing.
You know, I know a lot of people with a lot of money that have a lick of education, but they created a lot. You know, so like Oprah, for one person, just so you know, she's only, you know, billionaire, you know, with multiple streams of income and everything. But like, why do you think a lot of people, we go and seek and try to, get all these things on the outside and not being chill enough to really sit down and be like, hold up, I could create this? Because, and this is my last thing, because I feel like when that stuff happens, like, you still working for somebody else,
right?
And that conversation always comes up. It's like, oh, I won't be working for this person or this company for all this long, but yet that's what you wanted,
right?
I'm done. So have at it. What's that all about?
I feel like, and I can only kind of speak from my perspective of, you see what someone else did.
Another painter.
Right. You see what someone else did, and you think that that's the way that it has to be done for you too, in order to get a similar result. No matter how much you say, oh, I'm only doing this for me, or but it's good that you notice, how someone else got it, but at the same time, you don't know what they went through to get to where they were, if they're even happy that they're there. But then that's just like how I talked about, what movie is that? Jumanji.
Yeah.
With the how the zoologist was the only was the only one that could read the map.
Oh yeah.
We, just for example purposes, we each have a map that only we can read. Once you seek the person who created the map to tell you how to read it, but everybody's path is not the same, and so for me it was okay. My brother seemed successful. He didn't stay in Louisiana. I should get a similar result by doing the same. And that was always the case. I always said once I graduated I was leaving, because there's nothing here in Louisiana. But I didn't allow myself to be grounded and rooted, just like we talked about, because I always had a great desire. It seemed like my dad was the one who was called to Word of Life, because he was the one who directed us there. But as I got older and I found out and learned for myself how important it is to be connected to that church and be connected to that family, that was a big thing. It was like, okay, you want to leave, but you don't want to leave your church. So now what?
And your family.
And my family. So it's like, now what? But I chose otherwise. And when you are working a principle, regardless of if it's right or wrong, if you work in it, you're gonna get a result. So that's the principle I was working, was applying for jobs and waiting for one to say you hired. So got a result. But I really think that's what it stems from. Is like, people see other people's road to success and think they have to do the exact same thing to get there.
And then from what I've heard, is like, now it's not a struggle. It's just like her brother and family is now looking for a church. So and there's no knock to where you are or a specific church. And what we're saying is like, you can have it all. But you don't have to try to make that happen on your own.
Right.
You shouldn't actually try to make it happen on your own. Especially when God promises and has promised that the thoughts that I have towards you are thoughts of peace and of an expected end. So it's like, I'm not saying nobody cannot come and bless you in the way that God wants it to be done, but if it takes more effort in trying to find something, and then you don't fully find that full fulfillment, I just believe it's like a sign, like maybe I should just try to figure out what I can do, because still in all, it's like you're gonna be on that journey of finding yourself.
Yeah, always.
I'm still trying to find myself. And it can sound crazy. It's a statement. But yourself is really like yourself, meaning it's like, I know I love who Drexel Perkins is. Like every aspect, because I've dove into and this is beyond just staying in Louisiana. I never had a desire to leave, and that never even paid two thoughts about it until I was asked once before. But I knew, like, once I started seeing that I can create everything that I desire to with God right now, wherever I am, and then now things are even more so, like people in, let's say, people in other states or have bought our clothing line and stuff, or clothing from our clothing line, and that has been growing, and opportunities, and now we have apps out there, and that's also being created. I'm not saying that cannot happen anywhere else. However, I stay committed to being where I am and allowing myself to become like a seed, and just to be rooted in where I am, and every idea and every thought and everything that I desire to do in my area of what life and what God has given me. Because for my field, I would say that what I am doing, and what the vision is with Kingdom Fitness, is something that is not even, I don't know about any other business like it, and what it's doing. It doesn't seem, from the outside looking in, like much is happening, but I'm a walking miracle, and to be able to change lives, and from what was all a dream and started out with like 2 people, to the lives, like we just got a good report from a kid's mom that he dealt with Asperger's, and not being able to be open and being confident to talk to other kids, but was a thinker, probably not as good as an athlete. And there's many episodes of testimonies similar, but I can only think of, like, if I would have left, like, connection to people, connection to what God has, is way more important than just what a dollar can do for me. I'm hands down, because when I'm in alignment and with the creator of all things and handling his business, then he, for sure, his promise is to handle my business. And so that's why I was like, and Louisiana is like number 3 or number 1 on all types of sicknesses and diseases. Like, I'm gonna hold it down for the home front, and then I'm lot of different states and nations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Sweet Home Alabama. We in Alabama. So it's just like, man, you got what it takes. You got what it takes to be, and if you move or if you whatever career, like, you know, hey, just be led by God.
Right.
Just be led. And not saying Avery wasn't led or anything like that. You know, better opportunity came about. But see, her opportunity with job didn't bring me. So ain't no love like that at work. Yeah. Yeah. And I love how we have been able to venture and find connection in her vision that God has given her, which I think is way more important. Because then, and only then, will, when people think about finding themselves, and as we are all journeying to see more of ourselves and what God has given, I think it happens a lot more with entrepreneurs. Because once you dive into it, then it's like you're not only just seeing yourself, but you seeing what you're going to do to, like, how do you love yourself? Like, what will you do in order for this thing that's sitting heavy on your heart to come to pass and to manifest?
Yeah.
Many nights and many days of just like, you know, nah, I ain't going out, no, because like, nah, I love myself enough to see this come to pass. Like, I wanna, and in doing that, I'm seeing more of me, and now even more so that people are able to see more of me. But the spotlight ain't on Drexel and Perkins, it's on God, and we are to be a light.
Yeah.
I feel like I can. Yeah, you can. I'm more of an effective light in my own thing. I'm not shining so much in somebody else's thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I feel like how Avery has the light on her more so, and there's a light back here. But if I get my own light, I can appear a whole lot more to you. But I can't do that right now because I'm driving. But yeah, man. So go with God. Go with God.
Yeah. The biggest thing is just calm down. Calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah.
We got about almost 20 minutes left. So that all that from a movie, right? I'm gonna give it a 9 because it brought a lot of conversation.
Yes.
Just a little thing I was thinking about, and I just shared it with Avery not too long ago as we got on the road. But relationships are like a road trip, and we don't know all the. We don't have anything planned out what we're gonna talk about. So this is just fresh. But I see relationships as a road trip. And as we're traveling to Mobile, Alabama, I think it's pretty neat because there is we'll just say marriage is the destination for tonight. And in getting to that destination, there's many things that can happen. First of all, one thing that we talked about was communication. You got to be able to communicate. If we didn't have Siri or GPS and stuff like that, like, she would have to read a map and be like, hey, make it right here, make it left here, you got whatever here. Communicate. First, it starts with picking up, getting in the car first.
Yeah.
That's like connection, like agreeance, trust. There it is. This is about to be fresh. Trust. I mean, like you as the passenger, you would have to trust my driving.
And me as the guy with the map, gotta trust my direction.
So trust is in there, right? Then you gotta let my key go in the ignition bay. No, that's later DNA talk. We'll let our children talk about. But then you have to
push to start. I just thought about it. You do not have to put the key in the ignition.
I didn't. Save yourself. Wait. Oh gosh. So trust has to be involved. So then after trust, then you have to make sure maintenance. You have to check the well, not only maintenance. Maintenance is good. I think it's secondary to this thing, but as far as maintenance, like you have to make sure, there is the body of the relationship is like the body of the car. Like the engine has to be like, does the heart beat the same? Does it sound similar? It doesn't have to be the exact thing, but do they have similarities in there? Or we just do we have two different makeups and body and thinking and because on this journey it could be a bored and not aligned conversation if we thinking on two different things.
Yeah.
But the manual, I think, comes first. The manual. Like getting to know one another. Understanding one another. Which is also in the makeup. But maintenance is like we gotta correct some stuff, change some stuff. So I believe more so the manual. Getting to know one another. What breaks if you do something,
Well, what causes the break?
What causes the break? Where do certain things go?
The purpose of certain buttons, functions.
Yeah. Like, because in my car,
in 10 miles, take exit 20 on the left to merge onto I-65 north toward Montgomery.
But I didn't know it had all these features that I asked for. Like, I wanted this. I wanted. That is, yeah. Go ahead, have it. Go ahead. Yeah. You on to something.
Right. We ask for all this different stuff. But do you really know what you're asking for? And do you want it when you get it?
That's real.
And do you know the benefit when you do have it?
That's real.
A whole lot of questions.
Because
ask yourself.
I real talk. I had the standards I asked for and wanted, and I had it. It looked like a Lamborghini, but that junk wasn't efficient or effective as I needed it to be at times, and what I was looking for. Or it went too fast, and everybody was being able to drive it.
Oh Lord.
This is not DNA.
It is DNA. You're just not gonna add nobody, but all right.
Yeah. But anyways, but yeah. So the manual. You have to know what's the importance.
And wouldn't it drive or ride smoother if you read the manual first instead of trying to figure it out along the way?
That's what I tried to do, and that's what I'm still doing. Like I know a little bit, but there's so much about this car, and I feel like that about a lot of things. Like even the iPhone.
Yeah.
Like you showed me something that I didn't know I can do, and it was like you can have track of my whereabouts.
Oh yeah.
And I can have track of it
Location.
indefinitely. Like I knew you could do it on my old phone, like just like not indefinitely though. Like I was like, oh wow. Now that to me that said something trustworthy. I haven't put it down, but I was like, wow, like Like, wow. Like, in today's day and age, and for things that we have experienced, it is a good sense of peace.
Yeah.
That didn't need to be done, but to see it and to have it, I'm like, wow. Huh. So it's a sense of peace. But do we talk about used car manuals?
That's important too. Because
Oh.
the previous owner may not have took full advantage of that vehicle that you can take advantage of.
How far
Because
have you
read
driven?
How many miles you got?
How many miles you got? DNA is for real. But yeah, how many miles? Are you about to break? Oh, you're broken. That's why I get something brand new.
Maintenance needed. All kind of lights on when you get into it. Oh,
But the Lord is a new engine.
Oh gosh.
I love it. But so now we understand our gaming understanding of the car and this, that, and the other. We got 10 minutes left. So now we're driving. Sense of direction. Avery had said about a map. You gotta, what's the statement? You gotta know where you are.
The first rule in knowing how to read a map is to know where you are.
So I can't be headed one way and she's headed the other way and talk about we're gonna make this work.
Right.
Because like, well, I'm looking this way, you looking that way. We looking past one another.
Right.
And as we pass the sign that says divorce.
Oh Lord.
So when you're looking in two different directions, it can lead to divorce.
Separation.
Stay together.
Stay together. Shout out to Raven. Anyway, sorry.
Shout out to Raven.
It was a song that was sang on That's a Raven.
Okay.
She thought her parents were getting a divorce and they weren't.
Oh. Did she see into the future?
Yes.
Lies. You better trust the Holy Spirit, Raven. Frick. But so we had to put in the GPS where we're headed, and there was an agreement, a unity to go. Because I just popped up and was like, "Hey, we're going to Alabama."
I was like, let's go.
That's my road. That's my Sheebies. That's my Unifresh. That's my Unicorn. And so there may be traffic along the way. You gotta know how to dodge that. I think traffic is like could be. We haven't talked more about this, but that old stuff. Those. Ooh, I want that. Ooh, that's a nice vehicle. Let's get that. Oh, that's a nice relationship. I want that. Nah, you in this car. Like, sit your behind.
Over here.
Unless you gonna jump out and get in there, you might want to stay in the relationship you're in. Because the grass ain't greener on the other side. So there can be traffic and you have to weave in and out. You get to know one another. There's bumps in the road.
In 2 miles, take exit 20 on the left to merge onto I-65
Which-
north toward Montgomery.
That's a cliche statement because, I mean, with her and I, like, there are things that have come up between us, but, like, we conversate about it. Like,
That's what I say. We still stayed together. I didn't try to handle it on my own. Right, and we're going to. I didn't try to handle it on my own, going off in my own direction. I brought it to the table. We talked about it and we handled it together.
Same here. Because I know one thing that was, let's say, a bump in the road for me was being able to just reveal how important I see her in my life. Like, I don't need to be giving
done it all yet, but there was many women that I followed, and
Use the left 2 lanes to take exit 20 on the left to merge onto I-65 North toward Montgomery.
had a little bit of interest in and stuff like that. You know, that while I was single. Okay, I can't go. Okay, I'm trying to see Montgomery. Okay.
Exit left.
It got real dark for a second. But being able
In 5.4 miles, take exit 5A onto Spring Hill Avenue.
being able to reveal to Avery, like, you know, look, you have my complete everything, and I don't want to just say that, do that, because actions speak louder. Blessed are those that do not only hear but do. And so I wanted to, and it wasn't really to be like, yeah, you should love me more because I'm not following this person. Like, no, I was just like being real with myself. Like, I really don't need to be focused on anybody else or anything. And I still got a lot to delete, but
what do you tell your players about where they looking?
if you ain't focused, you're gonna miss it. You'll miss it. And so you know, and to understand that God has given me a complete thing in Avery. And I always challenge myself to come up to par, to be prepared, like, and accept that fully for what it is, because I don't want nothing to, you know, to interfere with what you got. Like, yeah, I can annihilate all of that just by being focused. So that was like I would say a bump, because I'm just saying a bump because I'd never revealed that to anybody, and not saying I was one to. It was something I found in myself. I found my own bump in the road, and I was like, oh, we need to put some concrete there, asphalt, to be exact, and patch that up, and let that be, because I want her to be able to be on a smooth drive to this destination and more things with me, rather than bumpy and things that can bring about concern, worry, questioning. Like, if we can annihilate the BS, annihilate the BS, people. Annihilate the BS. So, as we are almost to our destination, this is DNA part 2. You got anything to say to the good people? We're going to talk about hair next
In
time.
2 miles, take exit 5A onto Spring Hill
I
Avenue.
can talk for hours about hair.
We're going to talk about hair because there's some things that I like about it that she likes, but I don't know if she like it like I like it.
I probably don't, but if you like it, I love it.
I love it. Now what?
That's what it's gonna be.
That's what it's going to be. So, hey, DNA part 2, or part 2. Well, this is part 2 of episode 2, season 1. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Take a tip. If you act upon any tips that you have learned or seen or heard of, you know, hit us up.
Let us know you're watching.
And we're going to do the same. Like, because, like we said, we are still working on all this ourselves in our own relationship and stuff like that. But we bring you along for the journey if you want to hear and see. And we'll be posting those little fun things that you do in between, and that we do short little vids and stuff like that. So you can just ride along with it. Love y'all. Thank y'all. DNA.